Today, we play as America in a world where Germany won World War II, and then World War III ended in a stalemate, but the stalemate wasn't very good for Germany per se. The world split into 4 major factions, or more like 3 major factions, and then a small Balkan Entente. In the Balkans, of course. Japan used to have a major faction, but I wouldn't really say that anymore. But yeah, we sit on the eve of a new decade, hopefully a much more prosperous decade for Earth, for Europe, for Asia, but we currently have an interesting set of leaders. We have the United States in the OFN, led by Reagan, in the last year of his presidency. We have a Germany led by Purple Guy, and Soviet Union led by Soblin, who may or may not have died. It's a complicated story. And a Japan led by Akira, the prime minister, who's dealing with some issues right now, maybe some rebellion, some incursion. Also, notably, Turkey joined the Unity Pact after the Third World War, and the North African Confederation that was established following it has fallen apart, very surprisingly. Who would have known? Guess the alliance wasn't as stable as we thought it would be. Balkan Entente is in a pretty bad situation, though. They're surrounded on all sides by the Unity Pact, surrounded by people who have interests in taking their territory, too. Also, notably, the French control over Corsica did not last for long either. It was kind of a stretch to give that back to France at this point. Maybe one day they can receive all their territory back, or it can just be made into its own country or something. And the situation in the Italian Social Republic is not completely stable. They were just couped about a decade ago now, I guess, by the Germans. And once again, the alliance is fading, kind of like it did with the original Axis. So we can either stay out of Italy, support Italy's freedom, or direct intervention, which will maybe cause a civil war, or maybe lead to war with Germany again, which is probably a bad idea. So yeah, Italy must become free. I think that's the best option. Just support some independence from Germany, and then we can slowly make gains again like we did the first time. And this time, I guess, try to stop them from getting cooed? I don't know. Yeah, that was still quite an embarrassment. I have no clue how that happened. And it's a great day for the US economy. We've hit $1 trillion in GDP. Very cool. The biggest economy in the world. It's great. Leading maybe the strongest faction. Yeah, we're probably the strongest now. Germany still has an insanely large army, but I don't know. We have a lot of influence everywhere. Some great trade routes for sure. And Beijing, one of the largest and most populous cities in Asia, has been under siege for quite a while now. It'll be hard to say what exactly will come of this. Hopefully something gets resolved soon here, and hopefully in Japan's favor. Japan might actually end up being a important ally to us in the years to come. Also, we might start an effort to try to get some of these new independent African states into the OFN. They probably have slightly sour relations with us ever since we tried to establish, technically colonies there, kind of. And our good friend, our good buddy, Soblin takes a stand. The United States of America and the OFN have positive effects on the world when it comes to dealing with fascism, but they are by no means friends of the workers and workers' states like the Soviet Union. Today, we officially call for the workers in America to demand more from their ruling class and not accept the conditions they are forced to live under. Ronald Reagan has taken this very seriously, not just as a call for more workers' rights, but as a call for revolution. Though the two nations are still friendly and have common interests, relations could, at any second, take a turn for the worse. Well, I guess it begins. We might need Japan to become more of an ally, maybe. Okay, and I've started the Pacific Defense too. We're trying to defend free Indonesia. We have a little bit of our navy here just in case, doing whatever we can. As a member of the OFN, we have to protect them, because if they fall, I think Australia and New Zealand will also be next. We're also defending the West Coast, which is vital. I don't know, for some reason I can't station divisions in Hawaii, which is kind of concerning. I'm not sure why exactly, but I think it's demilitarized or something. I don't know. And I guess India's 1 province away from the shogunate too. The USSR is 2 tiles away from them, so this is much more of an issue for the Sosentern. We still have oceans to separate us. That's the one great advantage of America, I guess. And Italy is free, kind of, as expected, with some help from us, but mostly probably had to do with the fact that Italy controlled several nuclear weapons. That was probably the main reason they got their independence. They have quite a bargaining chip right there to get really whatever they want. But yeah, now they're free. They're not friendly towards us, of course, but they're free. And if we invade them, Germany will intervene, most likely. And if we invade them, they have said weapons, so, not the best situation there still, but it's a good change. We can maybe get something out of this. We can only hope that similar things happened in Ukraine and Ostland as Germany's power wavers, unless the purple guy decides to do something insane, who knows. Losing a major war is sure to weaken your regime quite a bit. And the fruit of the sphere, greatness for Japan, prosperity for Asia, all gone. We've done everything we can do. We hope this world remembers Japan. We hope this world remembers Japan for more than the atrocities committed in its name. We hope this world remembers our one final act. Today we die in service to our emperor. Well, Japan, or I guess what used to be Japan, it's kind of all gone now. This is rather unfortunate. This is not the good ending. I would definitely not say so. Emergency report. 45 weapons were used. 30 were used by Japan to Beijing and various capital cities in Taiwan and southern China. 15 Burgundian nukes were launched at Japan, but some hit other random targets in the region. Over 200 warheads are believed to be stored in bunkers on the island formerly known as Japan. They must be secured at all costs or those warheads will never be found. Yeah, I think they must be secured. Who knows who could want to use them? Wait a second. That's plenty of warheads to destroy the entire world. And who could want to destroy the entire world? Yeah, we better get to this island as fast as possible. I guess there's probably a lot of radiation there. I don't know, and it's probably not the safest place to go, but only 45 were used. That couldn't have completely destroyed everything, right? And Free Indonesia has understandably descended into chaos, pretty much. No longer part of the OFN, it's kind of hard to maintain any sort of connections in the region. We're lucky at least Australia and New Zealand were far enough away to not really have too many bad effects, but society in Indonesia has all but collapsed. We'll have to, I guess, eventually try to help restore order as weird stuff happens there. And the threat in Asia is still present. Of course, the labs that were used to create them all are now destroyed, and they don't really have the resources to create more even if the lab still existed, but even with that, they still exist to some extent, and people question whether 51, 50, and Himmler still live on, which they probably do. Some even guess DShakey may have survived the Battle of Lost Paris, which would make sense if the other two survived. The secret weapon was probably some sort of teleportation device. I would assume. The coasts of China look really cool though. This is an interesting sight for sure. I also like how when zoomed out it almost looks like Japan isn't even there. I guess kind of fitting in a sad way. Also, the areas up here weren't hit very heavily, so Solblin, I guess, saw an opportunity to retrieve some old territory. I'm sure it's just about liberating the workers, you know him. And interesting, a letter, a transmission from an entity claiming to be linked with the Prosperity Sphere has been received by CIA operatives investigating the Shadow of Asia. They want to meet with you in Sydney, Mr. President. Who is it? We don't know. Well, I guess we're going to Sydney. I would have to advise against that, Mr. President. This might be our only way to save the world, Mr. Director. It'll be an interesting battle as things go forward. We have to investigate the Shadow of Asia, maybe finish this off with a final battle or something. But I guess if you guys have been enjoying this series, remember to like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys next time, and maybe the finale.